A couple years ago, long before I ever made a YouTube video, I was walking around my local thrift store and I came across a pretty good find of PlayStation 1 items. So it was pretty much somebody's whole PlayStation 1 collection console, about 15 games, controllers, and a few other accessories. And at that time, I was really happy to make that find because, to be honest, I barely ever find any retro gaming stuff in my local thrift stores. Even up to today, I've maybe only found a few items in my life at my local thrift stores, and this was the biggest find I ever had there, right? A PS1 collection, basically. So in that collection, there were a few good games, Mega Man games, couple RPGs, things like that. But I also found this right here. And this was something I was really happy to find because it was really obscure. So this is the Mad Catz Gold 16X memory card and case. And the memory card is something I've been able to look up, find some pictures of on the internet, maybe even find some eBay listings. But the case it came in here is something I've never seen before. Can't even find a picture of it on the internet. So I wanted to come on, bring you back to the old PS1 days, to the old memory card days, and just show off this item here because I think it's pretty uncommon and pretty obscure. So, first of all, if you grew up in those days, the PS1 days, and even more modern consoles, then you know about Mad Catz. Mad Catz was a company that specialized in, third-party accessories for gaming consoles. So in the PS1 days, Mad Catz was making third-party controllers, third-party memory cards, all kind of third-party accessories. And this is one of the coolest Mad Catz things I've come across. So let's open this and let's take a look at what's in there. So this again was a memory card case that I assume when you bought the Mad Catz Gold 16X memory card, it came in this case. And here is the memory card here. Yeah, the gold one right there. Right. And what's cool about this is that this is basically somebody's whole collection of memory cards, right? Like I found this in the thrift store with these four memory cards in here. And there was actually a fifth one here just floating around in the case. So this guy or girl had five memory cards, and I've plugged some of these in. They're all loaded with saves. But what was cool again is this case. Like I've never seen this Mad Catz case, this memory card holder. And on the back of it, you'd have a list there for your four different memory cards. And you could basically, write down what was saved on each memory card. So something kind of cool about this as well. But I want to talk about as well, what was special, what's cool about the gold 16X memory card here. So let's take that one out, unclip it, and let's take a look at the gold 16X Mad Catz memory card. And I'm hoping that this will focus for you guys. So why 16X, right? A typical PS1 memory card only had a limited amount of saves on the card, and there was a lot of different cards you could buy for PS1. You had the official, OEM PS1 cards like this one here. And these are the ones I would go for because they were the most reliable. You could trust Sony to put out a good product, not to say that they were always reliable, but in my experience, these were the most reliable. And then you had, third-party cards like this. This is a random one that you really didn't want to trust. Well, you trust them because it was all you had, but these ones were known to go bad on you and you would lose all of your saves, right? So, coming back to the Mad Catz 16X, what was cool about this one here is that it held 16 times the amount of saves as a normal OEM PS1 memory card, right? Thus the 16X. And it has this red button on there. And the way you can think about this is it's basically like a virtual memory card. So it's 16 memory cards in one, and you would press this red button to cycle through the 16, virtual memory cards. So one memory card like this would be enough to last you a long time with your saves. But again, because this was a third-party memory card, they can be a little finicky. They might go bad on you. You might lose your save states. Now I have plugged this in. It still works, which is awesome. And the memory card itself, I mean, you can find pictures of this. You can probably find even some for sale on eBay, although it is pretty uncommon. But the case that it came in, this is something I just can't even find a picture of on the internet. Can't find a listing for it. So I wanted to come on and share this because it's a little bit of PS1 history. It's not something you see every day. And I mean, if you grew up in the PS1 era, then you must have a lot of memory of these different PS1 memory cards, right? The blue one here was pretty common, another official memory card. But there's people out there that have pretty big collections of just PS1 memory cards. There's a lot of different colors and shapes and third party manufacturers that made memory cards like this. So it is a little side collecting niche you can get into. But, going into the thrift store that day, I thought this was the coolest thing in the lot because it's just something you don't come across often, right? You might walk in, find some games, but you rarely come across, a memory card stash like this where the memory cards all work. And then you got this awesome gold 16X Mad Catz memory card in the memory card holder. So this is something I was just really happy to find, and probably the most obscure thing, maybe even the most uncommon thing I've come across. Not to say it's worth a lot of money, but it's worth a lot to me because, again, it's just super random, pretty cool, and probably not something that a lot of people bought, right? A lot of people would have probably passed up on something like this. So that's it. The Mad Catz Gold 16X memory card. Wanted to come on, show this find from a few years ago, reminisce on the good old days of PS1 memory cards, and just show something you might not have seen before. So that's it. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you ever had any Mad Catz memory cards. If you've ever seen this case or the gold 16X memory card here, I would love to hear about it. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe for more, and have a good day.